up to use with all hand controls. And the steering wheel on this right here is just a steering wheel off of a Honda FL 400 Pilot. And this is right over here is the master cylinder off of an FL 400 Pilot. Bolts right on the steering wheel, and that's what is actuating the rear brake. And I'm just running a steel braided line up to it, and these steel braided lines are the same lines they use like in race cars. It happens to be an Earl's hydraulic line. The throttle cable here is just right off of a FL 400 Pilot, and this end of it bolts right in and works off the thumb throttle on it, and then the other end runs over to the carburetor over here, and you just got to cut the end off to adapt it. And then to hold the legs in place, this is just aluminum that I cut up, and I glued foam all the way around it, and it just sits in there. And I set it on foam so it wouldn't mess up the stiffness of the car or affect the way it handles. And it just lays in there. And the way that the steering wheel is mounted is I took the normal hub that goes at the end of the steering column, and it has like a flat plate on the top of the board, hold the steering wheel on. Well, I turned that upside down, machined most of that plate off, so there's just like a washer part of it sticking out, and made the hole larger in the steering wheel and pressed that in there, and then I went in and drilled and put a few pins on the outside to keep it so it wouldn't slip. And then there's just a nut on the other side that clamps down so everything's locked in place. And I do take the steering wheel off to get in and out of it. And why don't you come around where you can see the back, you can see the steering wheel. Okay, right in here on the steering wheel, this is a thumb throttle. Push in, you go. And then all this is on the clutch carts like this, they have tack gauges and temp gauges, and I just mounted this in a little cloth holder because you got to be able to pull this off. Got a little bit of tape in the way, but you pull this off, take it out of the way, and then down in here there's a nut. You unscrew that nut and the steering wheel just slips off, and then that way that opens it all up so you can drop into the cart. And then just come over on this side and then right in here. This is on the brake lines. Both brake lines are just coming in, and this is just a T where I hooked it all on, and then the brake line runs underneath the cart and it's coming up here. But it's all set up so you can loosen the nut on this, just slide it off, and then the steering wheel comes out and out of the way, and then you can slip in. And this is the seats is sold. It's Power Sport Racing. It's called Pro Rib seat, and the sides of it come in a little bit more, and the top comes up higher, and it gives a lot more support for someone that's paralyzed to hold their body in place. And that's basically all I did to modify a clutch cart to be able to use with hand controls. Okay. Cut the tape.